Hey, thanks for joining me. As I've said before, I've got some folks that occasionally send me some comics just for fun and just for my own potential use. And my good friend Latique Curry sent me a pile of stuff, and I'm flipping through all the various things he sent me. And inside was a Spawn comic. I'm like, oh my God, it's been a minute since I've done Spawn because I kind of ran out of the issues that I had immediately available. I have to go out to my shed and dig through my like 12 different long boxes and find the next stretch of run of Spawn comics if I want to talk about them. But I kind of don't because I get so bored of Spawn like from issue 2. I was just kind of done with it. But it was always kind of relatively popular-ish with the channel. People seem to like Spawn content and blah, 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 blah. But I see this thing, I'm like, what in the hell is this picture of this fucking toy on the... Oh, this is... As I did some research, there was I completely forgot that there was a Spawn Alley playset. And this, presumably, apparently, is the comic book that came with the playset itself. Now, I just got done, I kind of did a quick 30-second YouTube search for if there's any like video content of someone like looking at the actual playset. And there was a guy, there was a guy doing a video showing this whole thing like just a year or two ago or something like that. And he had opened up, he had a package of the thing. So he opened it up because this is from like 94. And it's actually pretty damn sizable. I guess it's supposed to go with the original Spawn toys. So if like your action figures were, I'm trying to remember, like 5 or 6 inches tall, this thing is relatively speaking to scale with the action figures, the actual toy. And it's got all kinds of features which, to a certain degree, this comic is constructed exclusively to show what the Spawn Alleyway toy set can do. That is just ridiculous. I kept staring at this thing here, and I'm trying to... I was like, all right, this is a little freaking toy, but I'm like, there's little gargoyles on the corners of this thing here. There's I guess a water tower on the top of this half-built structure, including a crane. There's a freaking missile. It looks like a missile from like a He-Man toy, honestly, with this tip on it. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. But again, I understand. In the context of what this is made for, this is to go with a toy set for kids in the mid-90s. I have to keep that in mind. It is kind of a silly thing to look at now. This is published 1994. So, Spawn Alley, story by Eldon Asp. Name seems vaguely familiar. Jason Robinson on pencils. I don't know if I know who that is. Jason Gorder on inks. I know that guy's name. He's done a bunch of stuff. I know he did a bunch of stuff for Top Cow. Unless there's 2 inkers named Jason Gordon. But I'm like, okay, you have to go into this understanding that this was made for kids in 94. So grown-ass us are going to look at this and just think this is the stupidest thing ever made. Or you might kind of laugh at how, like, the silly, whimsical nature of it. I don't know. I guess I don't know if I understand what Todd's point was with this. Anybody who's buying these toys... It has to be like 90% of them are already reading the Spawn comic. So why put in a bullshit Spawn comic in with the toy that is a cheap imitation of the actual material that he's making? I don't know if I get it. Outside of maybe you'll grab a couple people who just picked up a toy, maybe you'll introduce them to comics. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. The art, all things considered, is not too bad. It's printed on this newsprint, and so it's got a kind of, the colors are kind of nice on this newsprint. The penciling is fine. The inking is fine. The writing is, it's an ad for a toy, so let's not judge it too harshly. But it does have the Spawn bullshit text boxes telling us stuff slowly. It starts pounding the cold pavement with the steady beat of a funeral march. It wells up briefly in the potholes and pockmarks of the city's ancient tired face before running down the gutters to the sea. Running, running, And so it's rain, and then we back away. We see reflection in the ground, and we back away. This is an interesting shot where, in the water on the ground, we see the reflection of a building that's out of view up that way, but we're seeing the reflection in the water down that way. That's not bad. That's actually pretty cool. And then in the puddle of water, a footsteps. Obviously, whose foot could that possibly be? I mean, obviously we know. There's Spawn. So then we get a giant splash page. And, I mean, again, I was looking at this art, and it's all kind of fine. But I'm starting to wonder if Spawn's one of those characters where very few people are able to draw the character in a way that maintains the awesome kind of the aesthetic that McFarlane established. Like, whatever you think of Spawn or McFarlane or whatever, set that aside. The comic was visually pretty damn exciting when it started, in my opinion. Spawn's costume is pretty dynamic, and it's a great design, but no one does it better than McFarlane, in my opinion. But this stuff makes it look kind of, it just loses something. It's not nearly as awesome. But Spawn, he's running. I guess his shoulders hurt because he's leaking fluids. And there's Violator chasing after him. And then there's a drunk homeless guy in the background saying, wow, look at that. Is that fucking necessary? It makes it so stupid. Like, why would you even want to add that in there? And then, but the Violator monster is chasing Spawn. Now, he's literally chasing him down the Spawn alleyway toy set. Like, there is a fence back here, so I'm guessing Spawn is running down the other side, like the toy set down there coming around the corner. They have Violator barking like a dog. Ruff, ruff. What? Like, really? Spawn jumps and grabs onto, there's a ladder. So he grabs onto a ladder, and then the visuals of this actually work. The motion of all of it. You know, here's the ladder. I mean, it's what it looks like. It looks like a dangling ladder that you'd get like when somebody's in a helicopter and they throw you a ladder that rolls down to grab onto. Although it's only got two things to grab onto. There's one cross brace there, one there, and then that's it. There's nothing else. So what the hell is this exactly? Who's to say? I don't know. But Spawn, the visuals here, he goes up, arcs around backwards, and comes up behind the Violator and kicks him right in his butt. And that visual, the flipping around, it reads really well. It's literally the Spawn playset. It's like, there's the gargoyles, that fence I was talking about, and then we come around the corner to there's a garage door and upper levels. Like, it's funny. This entire thing is built around just showcasing the playset. It's actually kind of stupid. But yeah, the visuals are pretty awesome. And the impact of that spine crunch, not bad. I'm kind of okay with that. Violator just growls at him and says, lucky shot, but you will never escape me. So Spawn stands there, charges up his powers and says, give it up, bud. You're on my turf now because you're in Spawn Alley, motherfucker. As far as a badass shot of Spawn, that's kind of fine. You know, it doesn't have the power of what McFarlane does, but it's okay. So he shoots and blasts the Violator. And does it hurt him? You know, I've mentioned a lot in comics where characters get shot with laser blasts all the time. They might have well just got hit by a punching bag or something like that. Like, it knocks them on their ass, but it never hurts them. It never vaporizes them, never burns them. But then I do like this shot. Spawn's chains come rocketing fast forward. And you know, these chains look pretty good. And kind of like Dr. Octopus in his arms, they pick up Violator, holding him in the air. Spawn says, had enough, ugly? I don't think so. Not even close. So he does, I guess, another super laser blast. And I guess he vaporizes him because there's this giant explosion or something, a burst of energy. It says choom. And then there's this little single, I actually, when I first saw this comic, I thought this was like somebody dropped a cigarette on the ground. You know, tick, tick, tick. But I guess it's just a single little pebble rock. After all of that, or something. I don't know. But for all of that excitement and bluster, Violator's just jumping up again. Unless it's a different monster, but I don't think so. But he's jumping up, yelling roar, and Spawn says, man. And then we cut down to Spawn's feet, and he's standing on one of those like sewer manhole covers, and it literally says Spawn Alley. But the Spawn manhole covers, they're in the toy set, and I guess it shoots Spawn up into the air, unless Spawn is flying. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Spawn saying, you don't know when to give up. So now Spawn has been shot up to the top of Spawn Alleyway playset, trademark, copyright McFarlane. He lands up there, and stupid Violator goes running past him, slams into the wall. So now he's got his head bonked on the ground. Spawn says, you're stubborn, I'll give you that. All right then, come get some. So Violator jumps way high up in the air to get Spawn. Spawn, again, just jumps out of the way, does a tuck and roll, turn, spin. There's a hook on a cable for some reason, just hanging from Spawn Alley. Spawn grabs onto the hook line, I guess to get to the ground. But now he's like 500 feet in the air, so he's spinning high and around. This shot of Spawn, I'm sorry, the artist absolutely fucking lost the whole thing there. Like, what? It looks awful. It's like, where's the dark rendering on the costume, the shadows, to give it some definition? And like here, that looks so weird. But all right, whatever. Spawn swings around to, I guess, the other side. There's like a top level with open floor plan, like it's in mid construction, but there's also like a walkway and a brick wall. Spawn lands there, and the brick wall itself slides apart, and he just backs his happy ass into it. He doesn't walk forward into it. He backs into it, and then the wall closes up behind him. And then I guess Spawn is now in a fucking elevator. Second floor, garage, sub-basement. Bing! So Violator is just standing outside. I guess he was on the roof, but now he's back down onto the ground. He's going, roar, huff, huff, roar. And then he's like, huh? Oh, gotta look behind him. What's coming out? Well, in the Spawn playset, there is a garage door. Yes, sir, there is a garage door. Hell yeah. What comes out? Holy fucking shit, it's the Spawn mobile. As if Spawn needs a fucking car. And it's like a souped up funny car race machine of some type. Again, this is to sell toys, and I don't hold that against anybody. You're trying to make action figures and toys, but does this make anybody like go, oh my god, I need the Spawn mobile toy? I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of an okay shot of Violator for the most part. It's fine. The car looks fine, but it's so laughable to see Spawn behind the wheel of a car with a giant laser gun shooting it up Violator's taint. It's just silly. But we're selling toys. And so Violator, God, if I can turn the page, goes running down the street going roof something, and Spawn just goes zipping down the road, his cape blowing in the wind. Boy, this artist did not want to put any fucking details on these buildings anywhere. And for some reason, there's a vulture just staring at us. There's a vulture. Is there a vulture on top of Spawn Alley? I don't think so. That's it. That's your comic book on Spawn Alley. That's really, it's all right. Again. I know. This is made for kids. This is not supposed to be for adults, but it's still kind of stupid. Like, as an adult, it's pretty fucking lame. The end. The following is a 3-page preview of Spawn Mobile. I had to kind of stare at this. It's kind of hard to read. That is a fucking awful font. What if it's one of those where you turn and you angle it down? See how it becomes more legible? Kind of hard to read that way, straight on, but then you angle it down. I was like, yep, Spawn Mobile. So we're going to get a 3-page preview of the Spawn Mobile. Was the Spawn Mobile supposed to be awesome like the Batmobile? Because it never was. For the complete story, check out the comic book included with the Spawn Mobile vehicle. Oh, okay. Let's see the preview of the Spawn Mobile. Artistically and color-wise, well, it doesn't say who drew this. So I don't know if it's still this Jason Robinson and Jason Gorder, because it doesn't give credit in this backup story. I'm going to think no. As a shot of Spawn, that's kind of not bad. I'm actually kind of super cool with the colors. I like the little painted in bats, the moon, the tilted angle. It's, it's not the greatest version of Spawn I've ever seen, but it's not bad. But again, this is the preview for the Spawnmobile. Keep that in mind. Now we get more fucking bullshit nonsense text. The night wind howls through the concrete canyons of New York like a banshee, and through Spawn's heart, a forgotten soul crying out for a love long lost. Oh, shut the fuck up. But through the... Jeez, I can't even read. But though the night is cold, he feels no chill. Yeah, Spawn has got no chill. The city is his home, and the darkness his element. And for a moment, he is at peace. But only for a moment. Then a voice says, boo. And we see a giant fucking chain zip across, or it's probably just a border. And then you see the head of Overt Kill. And I was like, this is a really odd compositional choice here. This is weird just to have the head and something. He's like, guess what? The lettering's kind of faded. Guess what, Spawn? Behind door number 1, you quit now and get out of New York. And so there's Spawn looking like a little bitch. Like the look on his eyes makes him look like he's scared. It's a big kind of impressive hand coming towards us. Like it's kind of fine. I'm like, okay. And then you flip it over and you're like, what? Oh, this is supposed to be a double-page spread, and somebody fucked up and had it split from this side and then onto this side. If you see his head here, it's supposed to be connected to his body there. I'm like, oh, that's really stupid. Somebody really screwed up. And he's like, behind door number 2, I got you like a fish. Come on, Spawny, let's make a deal. That's your 3-page preview of the Spawnmobile. Thanks, Todd. And then Spawn, the comic book, available in comic shops everywhere. And, oh yeah, there's all the action figures. I did have, originally back in the day, I did have an original first kind of release of the Spawn action figure. I kept it in his package for a long time, and after a while, I'm like, no one fucking cares. And so I took it out and kind of played with it for a little bit. And then I honestly don't even remember what I ever did with it. I haven't had it for decades, so I don't know. I always kind of wanted medieval Spawn. That guy looked awesome. I was not interested in Trimmer. Fuck that guy. I don't want a fat little clown. Fuck that guy. I'm not really interested in Monster version Violator. Fuck that guy. I'm not interested in Overt Kill because he's stupid. Fuck that guy. I'm not interested in Spawn Alleyway. Fuck that set. Violator Monster Rig? What? Maybe I'm interested in that. And then the Spawnmobile itself. But again, we're just making toys, and Todd made his millions. He got his nut. Can't hold that against him. But it's a comic book put in there with toys to sell toys for kids. It's kind of stupid, but it's an interesting little thing to look at. And so, there you go. There's a Spawn Alleyway playset bullshit comic. It is what it is. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for this one. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. See you next time.